This is intersection.
Okay. Please mute yourself.
तुम यहाँ रहोगे तो ऐसी आवाज करेगा दोनों फोन एक साथ मत रखो तुम उस रूम में जाओ
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nija, you can begin now.
Yeah, okay. Greetings of the day to all the esteemed guests. I welcome you all for Intersection English Recitation Class 4. Before we begin with the competition, I would like to convey a few points. I would like to request to keep your microphone on mute. I've admitted all the attendees. I would like to welcome our respected principal, sir, Headmistress Primary Department, Mrs. Tara Malvias, all eminent department heads, housemasters, teachers, and enthusiastic participants of Class 4 in this event. I would also like to welcome our judges for the day, Ms. Aditi Narayan and Ms. Shweta Gangwani. Let me introduce our comparers, Deseri Lakshmi Deepa and Shresht Mehta.
Recitation is an elocutionary delivery of a piece of poetry or prose before an audience. Let me tell the rules. The participant will be judged according to the following criteria: pronunciation, memory, overall presentation, expression, voice modulation, confidence, etc. There are 2 participants from each class. No prop or costume is allowed. The time limit is 2.5 to 3 minutes, including introduction. The judge's decision will be final. In case of any discrepancy, the headmistress, Mrs. Tara Malvia's decision will be final and valid.
Let's begin with the first participant, Akshat Bhatt from 4A, who will recite the poem Teacher, a Guiding Star.
It is not an exaggeration to say that a great teacher can change a student's life. There are an endless amount of great teacher stories that attests to the benefits of a strong relationship between an educator and pupil. Good afternoon, judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Akshat Bhatt of class 4th A. We all know that a teacher imparts not only academic knowledge but also shares ethical values and imbibes morality that shapes our personality a better human being. They are the building blocks of societies with immense patience, tolerance, and a bright shimmering smile. So here's a small tribute to my teachers in the poem, Teacher, a Guiding Star. When I was an innocent child of 3, lovingly you guided me, held my hands as I wrote my first A. When I messed up my numbers, you put them the right way. My first days in school. Oh, I was so shy. Once parted from my mother, I started to cry. But when you nurtured me in your cloak of care, I felt my mother's presence when you were there. Besides teaching me lessons and developing my mind, you also taught me how to be generous and kind. With a special gift for learning and with a heart that deeply cares, you add a lot of love to everything you share. And even though you will mean a lot, you will never know how much you helped to change the world through every life you touched. You sparkled creativity in the students whom you touched and helped them strive for goals that could not be bought. In order to bloom, a flower needs rain. In order to succeed, one needs to try again. That's what you have always taught me to do. You are like a guiding star, and I shall always follow you. Your advice I value more than the whole world's treasure. You turn my school life into moments of pleasure. You are such a special teacher that no word can truly tell. You are valued for the work you do so well. Teacher, oh teacher, you are my superstar. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Akshat, for this lovely performance. I welcome Shivam Shrivastava from 4B, who will recite the poem Sugar Plum Tree by Edwin Field.
Good afternoon, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, Shivam Shrivastava is going to recite a beautiful poem in front of you. And the title of the poem is The Sugar Plum Tree, composed by Eugene Field. In this poem, the poet tells us that the sugar plum tree is a perfect bedtime story for children about sweet trees that makes up an imaginary town in their dreams. Here we go. Have you ever heard of the sugar plum tree? It is a marvel of great renown. It blooms on the shore of the Lollipop Sea in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. The fruit that it bears is so wondrously sweet, as those who have tasted it say, that good little children have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. But when you got to the tree, you would have a hard time to capture the fruit which I sing. The tree is so tall that no person could climb to the boughs where the sugar plums swing. But up in that tree sits a chocolate cat, and a gingerbread dog prowls below. And this is the way you contrive to get at those sugar plums tempting you so. You say but the word to that gingerbread dog, and he barks with such terrible zest that the chocolate cat is at once all agog, as her swelling proportions attest, and the chocolate cat moves cavorting around from this leafy leaf unto that. The sugar plums stumble, of course, to the ground. Hurrah for that chocolate cat! There are marshmallows, gumdrops with the peppermint canes with the strippings of scarlet or gold. You carry away the treasure that rains as much as your apron can hold. So come, little child, cuddle closer to me in your dainty white nightcap and gown, and I'll rock you away to that sugar plum tree in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivam, for this wonderful performance. Please welcome Advik Rawat from 4C, who will recite the poem The Snake at School by Pamela Landon.
Good afternoon, respected teachers and my dear friends. My name is Advik Rawat, student of 4th C. Friends, have you been naughty in school? At home, how naughty is too naughty? Is it all right to scare someone by being mischievous? Let us find out in the poem The Snakes at School by Pamela Langdon. It wasn't that we hated school, the creek enticed us more. My mate and I hung out there to chase frogs, catch fish, explore. One day, we built a fortress, moved rocks, and tied some stakes. Then we saw a wondrous sight, a ball of baby snakes. We should have pondered longer, but we thought our find so cool. We stuffed the snakes into our bags and took them back to school. Just as the school bell jangled and the halls began to fill, we flung the snakes along the floor, then screams rang loud and shrill. We expected just a ripple, a tiny bit of fun. Some girls might get a little fright and some may even run. Instead, it was a tidal wave. Chairs and lockers tumbled. As kids and teachers panicked, our confidence soon crumbled. The hallway was a war zone. The floor was strewn with rubble. Though the baby snakes were harmless, we knew we were in trouble. Our tender ages saved us. We learned we crossed the line. They talked of court and consequences and preached moral decline. But we learned some worthy lessons. though were left in some confusion when our penalty for wagging school was to get a week's exclusion. And though we were repentant and we did receive a fright, others often broke the rules and their punishment seemed light. They swore and called the teacher's name. We saw them fight and smoke. But we learned that day the greater sin was to play a practical joke. So, friends, let's do not get naughty and play any practical joke when the school reopens. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Advik, for this lovely performance. Please welcome Rayan Moria from 4D, who will recite the poem Being Brave at Night by Edgar Guest.
Good afternoon, judges, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Ryan, and I'm going to recite the poem Being Brave at Night. During the day, children are busy and do not have time to waste worrying about silly monsters. But when at night they're waiting to fall asleep, they have lots of time to think about invading giants, ghosts, or elephants. To a child's mind, a powerful parent is a really good survival strategy. Poem Being Brave at Night by Edgar Guest is truly a great poem and describing the vivid imaginations of a child. So here's the poem. The other night, about 2 o'clock, or maybe it was 3, an elephant with shining tusk came chasing after me. His trunk was waving in the air and spouting jets of steam, and he was out to eat me up, but still I didn't scream or let him see that I was scared. A better thought I had. I just escaped from where I was and crawled in bed with Dad. One time there was a giant who was horrible to see. He had 3 heads and 20 arms, and he came after me. And red hot fire came from his mouth, and every hand was red. And he declared he would grind my bones into bread. But I was just too smart for him. I fooled him mighty bad. Before his hands could collar me up, I crawled in bed with Dad. I'm not scared of anything which comes pestering me at night. Once I was chased by 40 ghosts, all shimmery and white. I just raced them round the room and let them think I have to stop and rest a while. When they could capture me, then when they leapt onto my bed, they were so mad to find that I had slipped away and crawled in bed with Dad. No giants, ghosts, or elephants have dared to enter in there, because if they would, he would beat them up and chase them to their lair. They just hang around the children's room and snap and snarl and bite and laugh if they could make them yell for help with all their bite. But I don't ever yell out loud. I'm not that sort of lad. I just slipped away from covers and crawled in bed with Dad. Clever, am I not? Hope you enjoyed the poem. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Rayan, for this wonderful performance. Please welcome Ravika Arora from 4th E, who will recite the poem Somebody's Mother by Mary D'O'Brien.
Good afternoon, respected principal sir, judges, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Ravika Arora. I am in class 4E. Today I am going to recite a poem, Somebody's Mother. It is written by Mary D'O'Brien. The main theme of this poem is that we should always be unselfish and help others to make this world a better place. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of a winter's day. The streets were white with a recent snow, and the woman's feet with age were slow. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed her by. unheeding the glance of an anxious eye. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out. Come happy boys, like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow pipe white and deep. Past the woman so old and grey,
नहीं
distant
मेरा हाथ दे
children on their way,
हाँ बेटा
and offered a helping hand to her. So we can timid afraid to chirp, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her down in the slippery street. At the last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I will help you across if you wish to go. Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. She is somebody's mother, boys you know. For all she is aged and poor and slow, and someone sometimes may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand. If ever she is old and poor and grey, and her own dear boy so far away, somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to that noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Ravika, for this performance. I welcome Ichita Kaushal from class 4A, who will recite the poem Dad and the Cat and the Tree by Kit Wright.
Good afternoon, judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Ipshita Kaushal of class 4A. Today I am going to recite poem Dad and the Cat and the Tree, written by Kit Wright. Poet and children's author Kit Wright was born in 1944 and educated at Oxford University. He has written more than 25 books for both adults and children and has won many awards. His poetry, collected in Hopping It Might Be So poem. Have you ever seen a cat climbing a tree? Sometimes a cat climbs too high and gets stuck in a tree. The poor thing can't come down without help. How would you help it? Surely not like Dad in the poem. Is Dad a good climber? What was his plan? Let's find out from the poem. This morning, a cat got stuck in a tree. Dad said, right, just leave it to me. The tree was wobbly. The tree was tall. Mom said, for goodness sake, don't fall. Fall? Scoffed Dad, the climber like me. Child's play, this is. You wait and see. He got out a ladder from the garden shed. It slipped. He landed in the flower bed. Never mind, said Dad, brushing the dirt off his hair and his face and his trousers and his shirt. We'll try plan B. Stand out of the way. Mom said, don't fall again, okay? Fall again, said Dad. Funny joke. Then he swung himself upon a branch. It broke and Dad landed Walloo back on the deck. Mom said, stop it, you'll break your neck. Rubbish, said Dad. Now we'll try plan C. Easy as winking to a climber like me. Then he climbed up high on the garden wall. Guess what? He didn't fall. He gave a great leap and he landed flat in the crook of tree trunk, right on the cat. The cat gave a yell and sprang to the ground. Please ask Sponge to be safe and sound. So it's smiling I'm smug as can be. The poor old dad still stuck up the tree. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ipshita, for this nice performance. Please welcome Arna Rajput from 4th B, who will recite the poem Adventures of Isabel by Ogden Nash.
Good afternoon, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Anna Rajput, stand before you to recite a beautiful poem whose title is Adventure of Isabel, composed by Sir Ogden Nash. In this poem, the poet tells us that this poem reflects the courage of a little girl. No matter what hurdles come in her way, she faced them all bravely. It says that the girl was frightened by a bear, for which she ate the bear instead of screaming or crying like any other child. So here we go. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and cavernous. The bear said to Isabel, "Glad to meet you. How do, Isabel? Now I will eat you." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scary. She washed her hands and she straightened her hair up. Then Isabel quietly ate the bear up. Once in a night as dark as pitch, Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was cross and wrinkled. The witch's gums with teeth were twinkled. "Ho, ho, Isabel!" the old witch crowed. "I'll turn you into an ugly toad." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scary. She showed no rage and she showed no rancor, but she turned the witch into milk and drank her. Isabel met a hydra giant. Isabel continued self-reliant. The giant was hairy. The giant was horrid. He has one eye in the middle of his forehead. "Good morning, Isabel," the giant said. "I'll grind your bones to make my bread." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scary. She nibbled the sweet back that she always fed off, and when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talk was of coughs and jiggles, and the doctor's natural bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, "Swallow these, it will make you well." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scary. She took those pills from the pill concoctor and Isabel calmly cured the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Arna, for this performance. Please welcome Lyra Aurora from 4th C, who will recite the poem Just Wait for the Sun by Lisa Marks.
Oh, how I miss all that Advik just talked about. School, pranks, scolding, games, and so on. But I know this will pass soon. Good afternoon, respected teachers and all dear friends. I'm Lyra Arora from class 4th C. I want to give you a message of hope through the poem Just Wait for the Sun by Lisa Marks. When everything's darkness and you feel so alone, when the rain doesn't stop and you can't make it home, when you feel all is lost and you just want to run, it can rain forever, just wait for the sun. When family is pain, when friends can't be found, when you just want to scream but you can't find the sound, when it's all your fault and you feel like you're done, just wait for the sun. The sunshine will come. The storm always passes. It won't last forever. The rain always stops and gives way to good weather. The brightest and warmest of days still to come. Please wait for the sun. The sunshine will come. People who need you, People who still love you can warm up your soul like the sunshine above you. You're never alone, no matter what's done. Wait for the sun, just wait for the sun. The clouds always pass. I promise you, hon. We're all waiting with you. Just wait for the sun. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Lyra, for this performance.
Please welcome Vivan Khetrapal from 4D, who will recite the poem Finding a Way When Wanting to Quit by T.L. Norwood.
All. Each one of us will face hard times at some point in life. Sometimes the hardships will come for short season and other times they seem to last longer than anticipated. Having the determination and mindset to persevere can make all the differences, as we each have an incredible strength that can push us forward. Here is an inspirational poem by Taekwon L. Norwood, published on 14 February 2020. The title of the poem is Finding a Way When Wanting to Quit. Times will get rough and sometimes tough, where you may see that you have had enough, where you may fall and need a lift, where the hurt of your pain may leave you stiff, when all the things may seem to go wrong. Just pick up some faith and carry on, because you may never know how close you have come to be to reach the throne of victory. There has been some time that passed that many thought they could not last, but with a mighty blow, they have come to see that they have made a history. When you may feel that there is nothing that you can do, here is something you can refer to. As some people say, where there is a will, there is a way. With this being said, I feel a brighter day, one without hurt, one without sorrow, one with a brighter tomorrow. So in the fight, you may get knocked down, but get back up without a frown, because it's when you're hardest hit that you must say you will not quit. So push on harder and hear me when I say, where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivan, for this wonderful performance. Please welcome Rishit Verma from Class 4E, who will recite the poem Don't Quit by John Whiter.
Good afternoon, respected principal sir, judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Rishit Verma from 4th E. Today, I am going to recite the poem Don't Quit. The author of this poem is John Greenleaf. Life is just like a roller coaster with its twists and turns, and you can never predict what will happen next. My poem, Don't Quit, describes about how life can beat you down. But in order to succeed, you need to pick yourself up and try again. So let's start the poem. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't to quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learn, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and a flattering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night slipped down how close he was to the golden crumb. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you can never tell how close you are It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worse, you must not quit. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Rashid, for this lovely performance.
On behalf of all the teachers present here, I wish to congratulate all the participants for showcasing their best talents on this platform. Each one of you has done a wonderful job. The results of the competition will be declared by 5 p.m. today. Now I would like to request Mrs. Tara Malviya, Headmistress Primary, to say a few words of encouragement for our participants.
Thank you, Nija. I must congratulate all the participants. The variety of poems was really good. The confidence level was excellent, and the logo behind you makes this activity look so formal. And it's really well organized. But I would request Principal Sir to please come in and say a few words to the children.
Yes, sir.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Tara. Good afternoon, everybody. It is always a delight to see you perform, dear children. I mean, you all prepared well, and I must compliment you for that. You know, as Ms. Tara said, like, you all look awesome with the school logo as a background. And my compliment to Dasari Lakshmi Deepak and Shrestha for excellent moderation of the session. I mean, you people did a fantastic job. And also my compliment to the English department, Ms. Nirja and her team, for a very well organized event. You know? So dear children, I wish you all the very best for your future. I mean, you know, this is just one event, and there will be many events you will be participating. Remember one thing, you need to have competition with your own performances, not with anybody else. And every time you watch your performance and then move on, you know, and have that competition with yourself. I'm sure you will succeed in life. My best wishes to each one of you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Congrats.
Your presence is always inspiring
to all of you. Congratulations to all of you. Very nice program.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your presence is always inspiring us. Before we wind up this event, I want to share the specialty of this week. As you know, we started this week with International Yoga Day. And from last 3 days, we are celebrating Indian classical dance. To celebrate the same, I would like to share a small video of Jugalbandi of yoga and dance. I hope you enjoy this video.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very nice, Nirja.
Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Really enjoyed. I think now we can have dance and yoga together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
One of
very
the
nice.
activity, Veni ma'am.
Yes. बहुत अच्छा लगा. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. In the end, I would like to say thanks to all the esteemed dignitaries who gave their precious time and made this event a success. Thank you, everyone. May you all have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nirja. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
The children
Thank you,
will get
everyone.
your result.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.